Listen, everybody, it is episode 3, and I am excited, and I hope you are enjoying our podcast, Overcoming Self Sabotage, Me Against Me. Come on, type that in the chat box, me against me. If you're watching this, you can share it with somebody. I think it's a very, very important conversation. Episode 3, real life, real talk, me against me, overcoming self sabotage. Listen, I am so thankful and I'm happy that you are on with us and watching today. And I want you to know something that self sabotage is very real. We've been talking about this, and I want to go over our definition of self sabotage. Again, it is the behavior that undermines your own success or growth. We talked about this in episode 1, and I want you to tell yourself again, I want to be successful. I do want to grow, but my behavior can undermine my own success or growth. Self-sabotage. Today I got a thought. Today I want to talk about something, and I have a very, very special guest with me. Don't sabotage the stage. I'm going to talk about that today. Don't sabotage the stage, right? Learning how to show up fully when God opens a door, whether it's at work, on a platform, in ministry, or in your own home. These are stages. Work is a stage. A platform in ministry is a stage. Your home is a stage. Self-sabotage doesn't just hit when you're failing. It hits when you're about to step into influence. The stage is not about ego. Follow me today. It's about an assignment, right? And many of us fumble the moment because we don't feel worthy or prepared. This is what we're going to talk about this as I open up. What is the stage? Can I talk about that for a moment? What is the stage? The stage is any place where you've been called to show up. I need somebody to type that in the chat box if you're watching. Show up with purpose. It's not always a mic. Sometimes it's a boardroom, a dinner table, a parenting moment, or a ministry platform. Can I say that again? I think that's powerful. Sometimes it's a boardroom, it's a dinner table, a parenting moment, or a ministry platform. The stage, very powerful. Can I tell you one more thing about the stage before I introduce my guest? The stage doesn't make you important. It reveals if you believe you are. Man, that is so good. Listen, I got a very, very good friend that is going to talk to us today who has been on many stages. And we're going to talk about today some of the stages he has been on. We're going to talk about, can I just go back to this one more time? I just thought this was a powerful just definition of the stage. Sometimes it's a boardroom. We're going to talk to him about that. A dinner table. He's been at many of those. We're going to talk to him about that. Parenting moment. He has 3 children. We're going to talk about that. And he's a pastor of a church. So the ministry platform, I think he's the perfect person to talk about how to handle the stage. And we're going to talk about self-sabotage first in public purpose. Got a public purpose. You got a purpose. God has given you this ability, these talents, these gifts. It's in public, but how do you handle that stage? Can you welcome to the podcast my good friend and my brother, Pastor Nissan Stewart, my guy, Pastor Stewart. What's going on, brother?
What's happening, Pastor Spencer?
Oh my God, I am so happy that you are on the podcast today.
I feel special to be on your podcast.
Yes,
me against
me against me. And I like that my face is right by you, that we're working together, right? You see that? I'm on the left and the right of you.
Okay.
It's okay. Pastor Nissan Stewart.
Hey, everybody watching, just so you know, you're going to get authentic information, but you're going to also get our authentic relationship, me and Pastor Jason, because it is a comical,
Unique.
serious, unique thing. So.
It is very unique, but I love it, man. You're a very good friend to me. I want you to know that you are, man. And I do. I mean that with all my heart. You're a mentor. You have and you're a humble dude, man. Very humble. We were at AIM last week, and I think I really was like, man, this dude is really somebody, man.
Oh, you didn't know?
I didn't know, but man, I said this guy, he's somebody. Listen, Pastor Stewart. Quick, I don't want people just to assume they know who you are. Give us a little bit about the church you pastor and then you as a musician. And can I tell you another moment? We were in New Orleans at the Full Gospel conference, and I have a picture. I meant to put it in here so I should post it, of you and Calvin Rogers.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a moment for me too. Like, man, these are 2 big time musicians, man, the drummers that are very successful. But talk to us a little bit. Where do you pastor? And then tell us just a little bit of your history as a musician and doing music, stuff like that.
Yeah, so I pastor Greater Emmanuel Temple, aka GET.
I don't know what is that in the back. What is that?
What is what in the back?
I hear that noise. I hear a phone going off. I hear.
No, you just hearing the vibe. My phone is vibrating.
Oh, okay.
Telling me that I'm not answering.
That's the Holy Ghost. Yes, come on.
Holy Ghost, but okay. But we're in the city of Linwood, California, just on the east edge of Los Angeles. Pastoring great people. Our church has been in existence. This September will be 60 years. So you got to come down and celebrate with us. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have concerts. We're going to have Bishop Omer. We're going to have John P. Key. It's going to be crazy. And a few other friends. But I pastor a great church, what I would call a legacy ministry. Wonderful people. I've been pastoring 13 years. And, you know, we do a lot of community work. We're trying to elevate to the level of community engagement that respectfully you have, Pastor Spencer, which you do a great job. So I learn a lot from you in that space. I'll say that openly. Anybody's watching, you hear me talking, you can learn a lot from Pastor Spencer in his community engagement. Um, but we're doing our thing, and I'm honored to God for that, and excited about the next phase in that. But professionally, I am in the entertainment business. I'm a musician. I'm a drummer. I have played on the biggest and the smallest stages in the world, um, all around the world, many times over.
Tell us, what's the largest crowd you have played for?
Oh, the largest crowd I played for was over 100,000 people.
Where was this at?
We did overseas at a festival. We also did the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, big event there some years ago. Actually, a few times there's been over 100,000 people in festivals. I just did. Uh, we did Bonnaroo in Nashville. We just did Stagecoach 100,000 in Palm Springs earlier this year, and then, but more beyond that, I just did the Grammys this year. I was honored and blessed to do the Quincy Jones tribute. You know, about 30 million viewers.
Right.
That's my fourth time on the Grammys, I believe. But I've traveled the world working with artists and then producing songs. I've been on stages and studios where we're creating from scratch. And now even entering a new space, which you know about, a new field in the entertainment, that something that I've created that's going to be very huge. So I've been fortunate and blessed to go around and do a lot of things in the music space.
Now you're also the drummer for Dancing with the Stars too, right?
Yeah, I do Dancing with the Stars. We'll be starting that up here. This is my 15th season of Dancing with the Stars coming up. And so we'll be starting back in September. The same time the church is turning 60, and the same time a lot of other things are happening, but it's a good time. It's a busy time. I've been saying I'm semi-retired for a long time, but it doesn't seem to look that way.
Not yet, sir. Come on, you still got some time. I want to talk about something.
And I forgot about the Soul Seekers.
Soul Seeker, come on. September 6th?
September 6th, we're getting ready to record our
album. I got money in the bank. It's early. Pastor, let's talk about this. Public spaces, your purpose, these platforms. I want to talk about Dancing with the Stars, one of them. But I got a question. Have you ever had a moment where you were given a platform and you almost blew it out of fear or insecurity? Talk to us about that.
Yes, I have, Pastor Spencer.
Yes, come on.
Yes, I have. I share this story. It's not new. I've said it on other platforms. The year was about 1998, 99, somewhere in there. And this was the first time that I played the drums in front of 20,000 people. I was so nervous throughout the process with the crowd and hearing it back. I was overwhelmed. I was emotional. I was nervous. I was all of those things. And it affected my presentation, my playing. Another way, I didn't suck, but I didn't do the best that I possibly could because of my nerves. And it's as if the Holy Spirit said to me, "What are you nervous for? You're already here.
Right.
You already got the job." And from that moment on, I've been cool. Not that I haven't had a little nerves. That's something that should happen.
Kind of traumatic, huh?
No, and not really traumatic. Didn't have a psychological effect. But the moment, it was like, man, I was tripping. I was like, I'm not tripping. I am already here. I'm not auditioning. I'm here. And that particular moment.
Talk to us about that, Pastor. Why do we feel that way? Like you don't have nothing to prove. You're not in an interview. Like you got the job. You're here. Talk a little bit more about that.
Well, I think if, we used to preaching to a few hundred people on Sundays, but if somebody throws you in the crowd and you're preaching in front of 500,000 people, it's going to make you nervous. instruments.
Hmm.
That's just automatic. It's because it's different. At least that's the way I believe. And so that's what I was really going through, man. I had been playing drums my whole life in front of church and in front of church conventions. I played in front of about, back in the day when our Pentecostal Assemblies of the World conventions had uh, 10,000 people or so close to it. I played the drums there. So I don't know why I was tripping on the other side. But there's a lot of variables to it, to being a live uh, instrumentalist, if you will.
Right.
Uh, but that's what that was. So I went through that time. After that, nah. But even playing live on television, you're going live. There's no mistakes.
Let's talk about that. That was my next question. Dancing with the Stars, live moments.
Oh, live. Yeah.
Right.
Live. You have to have a calm demeanor when you're doing these shows. As a musician, individuals know sometimes we could be running Pro Tools, we can be running any program or whatever, and sometimes things go wrong. You can trip out and
Mm.
cause it to be worse. I tell you one thing. There's a thing that happens, and you want to know how I'm built. As we were talking some time ago, you see, you have to be calm under pressure.
Mm.
Same way with swimming. People can't swim. I don't. Can you swim, Pastor
I
Smith?
can. Yes, sir.
Okay, there's some people that can't swim. They say some of us black folk can't swim.
Right.
But if you throw them in the water, the panicking is what's going to really drown you, right?
Right. Right.
Okay, so in live performance, we start the playback, and one time it's not where it doesn't start how it's supposed to start. I'm the one that's got to catch it to make sure everybody's on.
Right.
So I have to have a certain type of mindset, a certain type of confidence, a certain type of awareness of the whole, scheme of the playback machine, so that I can be on point. And a couple of times we've had some issues where it could have went way left.
Other way.
But then that's why you're a professional. That's why you get called back.
Right. 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 Right.
So yeah. And even this year during the Grammys, and we did the Quincy Jones tribute, and you think about Stevie Wonder, who's just a consummate professional, and he's
Mm.
have his eyesight.
Right.
If somebody without with that disability, I don't know if that's the proper word I should use. If they can be professional, why can't I with all my faculties?
Right. 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 Right.
Oh,
I hear you.
I'm professional.
Let me ask you this. I was thinking about AIM. Right. You got all these musicians there. AIM is with the Church of God in Christ. A big conference they have. You got all these musicians in a corner. Heavy hitters, some up and coming. How do you though not get into this? I gotta prove something if I'm on the drums at that moment, because you got people watching you. How do you stay focused and do what you do when you got those kind of eyes on you?
You said it right there. Do what you do.
Right.
You do what you do. If I get on there, if I get on the drums and I attempt to do anything that my late good friend Aaron Spears did,
Right.
that's
Right.
not who I am.
Right. Right. Right.
And I learned that over time. I dealt with that challenge, if you will. I don't know what word you want to use. If you want to use trauma, I dealt with that when I first started preaching. Do I go try to sound like everybody else, or is it me? We heard the other day, God can't bless who you pretend to be.
Mm.
And he's not going to anoint who you pretend to be. He's trying to anoint. He wants to anoint who you are. And so with the drums, I learned that in musicianship is so competitive, like basketball. Like when we go to the gym or on the golf course, whatever we're doing, football. But you have to know who you are and know what you bring to the table. When
Right.
you hire me, you know what you're getting. I use an example, and I always say this. I talk about who the top 5 richest drummers are.
Mm.
You have in that pocket the late great Mr. Charlie Watts, who played with the Rolling Stones. You have Ringo Starr. I think you have Phil Collins.
Mm.
Them guys, the little guys can out chop them all day and night. But which one?
Right.
Want the chops? you want to be able to travel wherever you want, anywhere you want.
Right. That's
So,
good.
but that's just an idea. But my thing is, I worked the style that I have and I love. Trying to pattern after Ricky Lawson, uh,
Mm,
another great who transitioned some years ago. Um, and he didn't play like Dennis Chambers. He didn't play
right.
like Omar Hakeem, maybe some of these other guys, but he was the guy that was on tour with Michael Jackson, the biggest gig on the planet.
Right.
So but you have to be cognitively sound to see that and be okay with who you are. Problem is, many of us
Go
are.
say it again. Come on, talk about that.
Problem is, many of us are not okay with who we are.
Right.
I'm okay with
Uh-huh.
who I am. Do I need to get better at a lot of things? Can I improve? Absolutely. But I'm okay with improving from who I am.
Got
Uh,
you.
but but comparison in church, those that serve in ministry, those that pastor, teach, evangelize. My problem is the copycat syndrome. That's a syndrome that we have.
Mm,
The word. I know you're more educationally sound than me. You can give us the correct term.
copycat. Good.
But yeah,
Imposter. Really good.
copycat syndrome. We copycat others, and I can't be nobody else. I'm 6'5", 280. I can't copy you, and you can't
Right.
copy me, and that's just the way it is. So I'm
No,
okay.
I hear you. That's good. That's good. I want to kind of shift because I want to go back to the platform in ministry. But before we go there, and I love how we can. You said something we talked about in our second episode with your good friend Pastor Gerald Haddon. Just that whole comparison. I wish I had time to park because
You
I
got
wanted to really.
all
No,
right.
I really wanted to
Let's go
ask you a little
overtime.
bit more
Go
of.
overtime.
Say it again.
Let's go overtime tonight if we need to. Let's give
No,
what they need.
no. What I'm saying is, I just feel uh from what you were saying about just knowing who you are and just why do we that's the question I wanted to ask. Why do you just feel like people we do try to prove something or we do try to compare, and why can't we just be happy in the skin that we're in? It's kind of and I just think that's what leads to self-sabotage. I opened up about that even yesterday, I mean last episode too, and I was telling Pastor Gerald, Pastor Nissan, I was just saying like even with me watching like on a Sunday other churches and you seeing pictures, I'm like you start comparing, you start thinking like, oh, I need to do this or I want to show this, or even things that we may post, you want it to look a certain way, but I'm like I don't have to prove anything to anybody, right? Talk a little bit more about that. Talk about comparison too, and again, I like this conversation with you, with Gerald, because you have been in so many circles with so many different types of people, from preachers to musicians, and it's like this whole comparison thing. Then when they ask you how many members you got, it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like uh, the reason why this happens, this comparison thing, in the way that it does, is levels of insecurity, right?
Mm,
I do feel like, if you look at a basketball team, let's take, who do we want to take? We could take the Bulls, we could take the Lakers, who is my team, right? Or we could take your Warriors. Dray, Draymond is not Iguodala,
right,
and he's not Steph.
right.
He don't get the money that Steph gets, or if we go to the Bulls, you got Pippen. Pippen should have been paid more, but
Well,
you got Michael
you
Jordan.
saw it.
You got Bill Cartwright and Horace Grant. They're teams. This is the way I look at it. They're a team, and if they make it to the end, they all get a ring.
Right.
Each one of them. Yeah, one may have more stats than the other. This is how I framed my mind. When it comes to ministry, I'm gonna do the best that I can. I'm gonna learn. If I those guys that worked out or was on the team with Michael Jordan, if we watched The Last Dance, he pushed them, to get the best that they out of them that they could, but they weren't going to be him, and he wasn't going to be them. We have to be okay. I'm okay. Let's be candid. you know what we're doing at our church on Tuesdays. We have
Mm,
a successful uh, food giveaway. That's one of the things. That's amazing that we do that. But there's more. And then I look at you, and you're doing more, and you're able to attain the necessary assistance to do the things you want to do. Am I looking at you like, man, I just want to? No, I don't. I don't think that way. I'm like, man, Jason is doing. That's amazing.
right.
It's on me to be like, hey, man, how do you do that? How can you help me? Can a lot of people don't like to ask for help. That's the one
Come
thing.
on.
Right. People don't like to ask for help. Everybody thinks they have it. And in the church world, we play that good. Pastors think they got it because you got a title and you got you know how to dress, but we go to the establishment and you have there's not really that much of an impact. That's the good word. It's not the impact. The impact don't match what we
Right,
see
right,
you presenting,
right,
right?
right, right, right.
And so I feel that that person is doing themselves a disservice because of ego.
Mm,
And ego, in humility, we ask, how do you do that? I do that all the time. Yesterday, I went and had dinner with Larry Hughes,
mm.
former NBA player, right? Um, and his son, who's now playing at Cal State Northridge down here, and some friends, and we're talking. I'm asking Larry, like, so how do you, as a parent, happens to be a former NBA player, but as a parent, so how do you do this, and how with the kids, and how do you handle? You got to ask.
Right.
People are not humble enough to, they want to make it seem like they've arrived, and social media has,
Come
while
on, man.
great, that tool. Uh, People want to seem like they've arrived somewhere. They want to seem like it's going on. I've seen people post things and talk about great things, and then you call them 5 minutes later, and you're like, I'm like, well, if you're telling me this now, why did you post that? Stop playing out here in these streets,
Come on. Listen,
faking. Don't give me the.
can I ask you a question though, Pastor Nissan? In the music industry, have you ever been jealous at one point? Follow me though. Missed a deal. Somebody got signed. Somebody bought somebody else's music than yours. Have you ever felt that way?
No, I've never felt jealous.
Mm-hmm.
Never felt jealous of anybody. I have friends. We could talk about. I'm gonna name names. I have friends. I got, my brother Rapture, who was one of my favorite producers. Him and Eric Seats, their sound was something unique. Never jealous, never envious,
Mm,
inspired.
that's good.
That's them.
That's good.
Their thing. I've been inspired. Me like, dang, they really, wow, wow. But I ain't never been like mad because it didn't happen to me. As a
That
music,
that's self sabotage
yeah,
though.
it is.
It's the envy.
It's how
It's
you.
the jealousy.
It's how you frame your thinking.
Come on, man. That's good.
I'll tell you. Let me give you one. I'll give you one on record that I never talked about before. There's a prominent artist out here was getting ready to do a movie. It's going to be huge, and up for the musical direction was myself and my brother Adam Blackstone.
Mm,
Got it. I'm like, hey man, congratulations. Do I wish I would have got it? Yeah, I would have loved to have that, but I didn't feel no type of way because one thing again, whatever your foundation is, my father and mother taught me, well,
mm,
what you is for you,
right.
and if you've done everything you can to get there and it didn't happen, why have it and it not be for you and all the hell that comes with it?
Oh,
So
right. That's good.
this is how I framed my thinking. And then I say, man, sometimes the impact of the news, like, man, okay, okay. All right, man. Well, congratulations to my brother. I got a call yesterday. Yesterday, my brother, Tony Russell, he
Mm,
is a musical director, bass player. We've seen him, heard him on all types of records. Pastor John B. Ken Beyond, but we worked together on the secular side. He just got nominated for an Emmy.
oh,
Man, I congratulate him. I've never been nominated for an Emmy, and I don't feel no type. I don't feel like, I don't have a Grammy. I've been nominated. I
right,
go to
right.
to my friend Pastor Warren Campbell's house, Pastor Aaron Lindsay's house. I see them Grammys. I pick them up and hold them like they
Right.
got them. I got them, but I'm not feeling unfulfilled. This is how I think, but then it's foundational. And all of this stuff really, if we be very honest, how to handle these situations really is in the Word.
Come on. Right.
But how to handle life situations like
Right.
this, how to frame our perspective. But, to each his own.
No, I feel you. Let's shift though. Let's shift in our time we have remaining to the pressure of private platforms. Okay, let's
That's
talk about this.
Platforms.
You're home as
Okay.
a father and a husband, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about the private stages, like being a father, a spouse, or a leader. But let's talk about father or a spouse. Have you ever felt like an imposter there? One way in public, at home, privately, private
I never looked at it
platform.
I never looked at it like an imposter. I think in all the settings, you want to do the best that you can. And we learn a lot, even through our mistakes. Um, in that, I just feel like I always want to get better. I always want to
Mm,
get better at it. I need to be better uh, in my home so that the experience is great. And then I treat it like, you know, I've had friends who have passed who are my age, younger than me, right? So I want to make the best that I can. That's what I want to do, and I don't want to be, uh, I think everybody in public is who you have to be, right?
mhm.
At home is where you can come and lay down your hair and down your hair rather and chill, throw on your basketball shorts, whatever your sundress, whatever the wife wants to put on, and be you. But even in that, we're still learning each other. It's all relational.
Right.
We're learning each other, and I think that as long as our goal is to be the best that we can be for those we say we love and those that we say are ours, I think that's all right. But yeah, sometimes it's tough. You figure it out. Sometimes you think you got to figure it out, then you see you don't have it figured out, and you just learn. You just keep learning, man.
You know, my son Caleb, he'll call me and say, "Daddy," and I said, "That's not my name. My name is Pastor." He said, "No, it's not. It's Daddy." Right? It's just so powerful. How do you feel like to know you own Dancing with the Stars? You're a pastor, but yet to your kids, your dad. And how does the fear of not measuring up show up in your role at home sometimes? Do you ever feel that, like, man, I'm doing all this? And that's kind of my next question too. People depend on me for work, they're depending on me at the church, but those in my house, do you ever feel like, man, I may left them down, I'm not measuring up, I don't have enough time? How do you balance that? And you're a busy dude.
I mean, yeah, I would say I probably have felt that way sometimes, but you always have to make up for it. Like, what situation is perfect?
Mm,
I don't know where just all the variables are perfect. You have to make up for it. You have to figure out. As leaders, we have to figure that out, right? Like right now, our daughter is Jade is at Pepperdine.
mm,
Nissan got Vegas. We got to go to for basketball. Charlie's in golf. When I'm done here, I'm taking Charlie to go hit some golf balls.
mm-hmm.
'Cause that's what she does. You have to figure it out. And Toya, we gonna hang out later. Um, but you figure it out, man. It's not if we look for perfection. I don't know, but I just want if the heart is pure and we're able to feel that from each other, I think then we're on the right path. But if we don't have that part, then it makes everything else difficult. So I just want I'm just out there trying to do the best I can.
We talked about this before. You told me, Jason, you gotta make sure, you gotta see if you got the capacity for this,
Yeah,
because it's a fast pace.
yeah.
Now I wish we could have this conversation about wives, and if the roles were reversed. And I don't want their job.
Don't
I'm
you?
gonna, I'm gonna just say that.
I don't either.
I
I don't.
don't want,
Don't
but
get in trouble, man. Don't
don't
do.
get in trouble. No, we're not getting in trouble. But what I'm saying is, man, that balance, the capacity, you can self sabotage these moments in that private space, private platforms. Uh, but that prayer, like, Lord, help me balance this. I got a business, I'm pastoring, or I'm in ministry. I got
Plural.
a family, businesses, right? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so
I mean, talk to us about capacity. Talk to us about, just that balance with your home privately, like
yeah,
making it work.
I think we have to be intentional about that. I could always do better at that. In the perfect world, we hit the lottery. We have all the money to do whatever we want. We ain't got to go to work like that.
Right, right.
But it ain't that. It's not. It's not that. We have to work. We got to figure out how to take care of this bill. Sometimes money is great. Sometimes money is not as great. Sometimes opportunities are there. Sometimes they're not there.
Mm,
Ain't nobody coming knocking on our doors trying to give us a job. Really, we got to go out and get it. So we're quote unquote hustlers in that frame of thinking. But I feel like, as it pertains to the capacity, which we talked about, one of the things is, like with exercising, you can
mm,
start off. You can't just get under the bench press and just bench 315 pounds. You ain't never done it before. You have to build,
up to it.
and as you create your capacity for your life, number one, you got to make sure you're healthy, because the health is important. You
Mm,
got to be physically able to move around. That's one thing. You got to be cognitively uh, clear and strong to even handle many things. You have to have wisdom to even handle. You got to have wisdom when to say yes, when to say no, when wisdom when to go, when wisdom when to sit.
mm,
Move. And then everybody has a different capacity to handle things. I'm reading a book right now on Walter Yetnikoff, who was a major executive in entertainment. Usually, individuals that have these broad capacities, sometimes they're challenged
mm,
here. And sometimes there's trauma and things that push them off of edges and things of that nature. I like to just stay right. You know, I'm a risk taker, but I like to stay at the equator as much as possible for sanity.
mm,
And when I need to go beyond north or south of it to do what I need to do, I want to come back to the equator because I don't want to lose my mind in the process. Look at how many people have had nervous breakdowns.
wow.
Bishop Morton talked about it just the other week when we
Mm,
were in New Orleans, to go through that, going and going, never saying no, never taking time for yourself. Like, and I think many times we overload ourselves. Like, I was just driving here. I picked up my nephew from the airport, just driving home, with the exception of having to be on the phone to handle business. Like, a lot of times the radio is off.
mm,
I'm thinking, I'm assessing my life. I'm assessing the last move. I'm assessing the move from yesterday. I'm assessing whether or not the meeting went well and what I can
mm,
do better and how I can grow. That's me. That's what I'm doing. But I do it in every area. I try to do it even with, my wife. I may say something, she tells me how I said it. I think I said it a certain way, but I was totally wrong. And she corrects me. I got to think about it and say, okay, all right, let me hear out. Next time, let me
okay,
try to do
yes,
this and that. Assessing. Most people don't assess.
that's good.
They don't reflect.
That's
I do
good.
a lot of
Meditate.
meditate. They don't like that word in the church world. Meditate, but that's something that you should do. Sit, reflect, meditate, pray, talk to the Lord, ask for guidance, ask for God to order our steps.
Right.
How many times has God ordered our steps and we misstepped
Mm,
after they've been ordered? Right? It happens. So then you got to pick up the pieces, as James Brown would say. Sorry,
come
saints.
on.
Pick up the pieces and
Pick
let's.
up. Let's end. We got about
You
5 minutes.
sure? You sure that
I
the
know.
people they loving you tonight,
I
Pastor
know.
J?
I want them to come back to the next episode. Listen. Last part. Standing confident when the lights
Yes.
hits. When the lights hits. Let's talk about that stage called the pulpit
Yeah.
platform. Okay. What helps you walk onto that stage? Whatever it is, but we're talking about the pulpit, ready to preach without shrinking, without just like, right? And let's go to the next one too. How do you remind yourself that you belong there even when it's uncomfortable. This stage. We're talking about pastoring now. Let's talk about ministry.
So this is very good. You get a kick out of this. So me, um, number one, as we study and prepare, which Lloyd Ogilvy once said, for every minute that you're on stage, you needed to have studied at least 30 minutes to an hour for each
Mm,
stage. That's what you needed. That's what your preparation
mm,
needs, right? And our preparation, which I do a lot throughout the week in having conversations and doing my reading as I'm uh, formatting and setting the stage for what I'm going to share. After we do that, you know how it is Friday night, Thursday night. I try to have my sermon done on Thursdays. But as you're reviewing it Saturday night or whatever, once I close, I'm not closing the computer until I'm confident in everything
mm,
that I've studied. After that, Sunday morning, I share this with our ministers at Great Emmanuel Temple. When I'm upstairs and I'm getting ready to take that walk from the office
mm.
to the chair is a walk. I get on the
Right.
elevator, take a deep breath. I say, Lord, it's in your hands now. And then there's a sense of nervousness, which is okay. It's not fear, it's nervousness. Um, we have to calm. There's practices for that when you're getting ready to speak. And I'm not a master orator. That's not my thing. Drumming and for what I do, I master that. But as a speaker, after all these years, I'm still not a master at it. Then when you get on the stage, you have to know that God called you. And anytime
Mm,
there's insecurities, you know, you have to check and see if there's fruit from what you have been
mm.
like. And so for myself, I've seen the fruit. Now I've had fruit, and then I've had what eats fruits, what tries to kill the fruit, or the bugs that eat the fruit.
Flies. Yeah, fruit flies. Yeah.
Right? Fruit flies or bees or whatever
Right.
come to attack. I've had fruit, and then I've had people that come this way. But these people who come to attack conversation, as a pastor, taking over from my father, I had those that, just they're like, oh, he's not it. I've had those, and some of it is not being insecure about me, but it's being insecure about themselves
Mm.
because they don't want to get in the same word that I'm reading from and say, hey, let's sit. I say, let's sit down and talk about it. Let's look in the word. I don't know why a lot of people are scared to do that, but that is what it is. But saying all that to say, when you get up there and you're sharing, every time you're trying to figure out how to get better, and and then this I think preaching may be more competitive than
Come on.
musicians, right?
Talk about it. Right.
We judge, and a person didn't preach if they didn't give you all the antics and the things they didn't preach. I dealt with that for a quick second, but it
Mm.
was quick. My dad said, "You ain't got to do that. The Lord didn't call you to sound like anybody else. He didn't call you
Right.
to sound like me. He called you to sound like you." And in that, again, I'm fortunate that without that him telling me that, maybe there would be trauma, maybe there would be whatever. But he laid a foundation for me to understand. And I think I've been okay. Do I get nervous? Yeah, I get nervous. Anytime you're going to share with people, but people that they come to hear you deliver a word that God has given you, you should be. That's the most serious thing, man.
Right. You're right.
So we try to do the best that we can, man, and get better. That's why I'm glad I got friends like you. I got friends like our other brother and sisters who are speakers. We learn, man, and we grow. But I would say if you're confident, if you can be confident being you,
Mm.
then you will give the best presentation that can come from you. If you're imitating somebody else, Jamie Foxx can imitate Barack Obama amazingly. My man Jamie can imitate Donald Trump so amazing. When we were doing his special
Uh
and we would be practicing, we'd be sitting at a table. He turned into Donald Trump,
huh.
working his thing.
Right.
It's funny, it's hysterical. But that ain't Jamie Foxx.
Right. Right.
That's for the moment. So then when
Right.
we get to the house, who are you? Donald Trump? You still trying to be Donald Trump? Okay, but how about just be you?
Just be you.
And I think that's what I get from that. Hopefully I answered that.
No, man, you did. I appreciate just what you said, from the public to the private to the pulpit, right? That's actually powerful. Public meaning just secular, your workplace, where you at, the stages that God has given you to put you on. I want you to pray for us, Pastor Nissan. Here's my last question, though. What would you say to someone who's about to step into something big, but feels like sabotaging it because they're scared?
Who
Because
feel
they're afraid. They're about to step into something big. You're working on something big.
don't say I,
We ain't gonna say it, but
I was
talk
that's
to me. What are
so
you telling yourself about this?
I'm going through stages in the preparation process because it's so new. I sat in a place of comfort, but then the people that I'm associated with who are big dogs. I mean, when I say they are big dogs, they are big dogs. And at the end of the day, you know, right now while we're traveling, learning and assessing from these conferences, they're over in Italy and France on yachts.
Right, right,
The key players that you know of, you
right,
know,
right.
sometimes I'm like, man, okay, I don't know if this is gonna happen. But I think internally, we have to battle that internally. I have to tell myself, what are you talking about? I'm here. I already had the meeting. They already signed the LOI. They already gave it to me. Why am I tripping? I just got to put my best foot forward. And you know who's good at that, man? My nephew. Speaking of inspiring, Cameron, Deacon
We gotta
Cameron,
get him on, huh?
got to get Cameron on
We
because
do. Yeah,
in
he a monster.
Oriole State now,
Yes.
you see, we can say what we want, but what I believe, what I do love about him is he's not going to hear a no for something that drops into him.
Mm.
He's gonna go after it, you know, until till it happens. You know, as long as he's not doing nothing egregious along the way. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Which
no, no. Yeah.
my point is, he's driven to do that, and I think that's an amazing thing to have that. Many of us will sit back and look at somebody doing that and talk about them, but that's why you'll have Jeff Bezos. Everybody talks about Jeff Bezos.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody talked about Steve Jobs. They talk about him, whatever, but they changed the world. And world changers can have to get to a place when something drops into you, you gotta know and you gotta go.
Come on, man.
You gotta know
Say
and you
that again. You
gotta
gotta know.
know K NOW, and then
Uh,
you gotta go.
Geo.
Because at the end of the day, and that's just the way it is. It's the same when you look at athletes who believe, like Michael Jordan. We could talk about him, and he knew. You know what I'm saying? And it was unique. We're not gonna get into conversation.
Man,
Go.
that's even with discipleship,
It's
Pastor
in
Nisa.
you,
You
yes.
gotta know the truth, and this truth is gonna set people free, and you gotta go. He said,
Gotta
"Go make disciples."
go.
Go.
Yeah,
Come
and be
on.
confident in the process. See, I had to get to a place. I used to feel defeated. I used to feel defeated preaching, and nobody came to the altar.
Come on. See, we gotta end, and you now barely opening up.
No,
Come
I'm
on, man.
talking. We're going. It's coming as
Come
it
on, man.
goes up in my mind. What I'm saying is,
Don't you in those moments feel like, did I miss something? But yet,
I used to.
right? Talk to us.
But
Yeah.
then everybody don't respond the same way.
Right. 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 Right.
Text, I'll leave and think that I said, I can go through my text. You talking about the answers in my phone? I go
Right.
through my text, and I got a message from Sunday, Pastor. What you said to me, from somebody I didn't expect to
Right.
hear from, one of the homies, and I'm like, wow, okay.
That's
So
that's crazy. Pastor Nisa, what's
yeah, I
crazy
had to
about that
learn that.
is I'm stepping out with this whole podcast thing, but one of the members on our second episode texted me after, was like, "I'm so thankful you did this," and I'm like, I didn't expect that.
That's what I'm
Right? You know what I'm saying?
telling you. See, but here's the deal. You gotta go. It has to be like this. We're going to the gym, we're working out. I have a goal. I can't go to the gym the first day and then go step on the scale and tell me, let me see how much I lost. You cannot do that,
It don't
man.
happen that way. It don't
You
happen.
gotta have consistency over time. And based on where you are, you may need to have consistency for a year, 2, even 3 years to
Mm,
get the results you want. But we have to stay driven. My final word is to stay driven. If we stay driven, understanding what God has given us, recognizing our purpose, I feel like I feel like we'll get somewhere. I feel
got
like
you.
we'll really get somewhere. So,
Come on, man.
don't self-sabotage yourself on the road to success.
Come on. Can I just put this one more time? I'm gonna just put this definition one more time. Self-sabotage is the behavior that undermines your own success or growth,
Yep.
consciously or unconsciously, but it undermines your own success or growth. I think
Let's.
that's powerful.
This may be. I would like to correlate if I
Come
can.
on, talk to us.
Let's talk about Lot's wife.
Mm,
She received an assignment towards her freedom and
mm,
escape, right?
mm.
But she was given a directive, but she decided, well, I'm going to go against the.
Her behavior.
And so her behavior was to look back. She was attracted to something that was back there. Whoever,
Mm,
that may be a good something to look at. What made her look back?
mm. Come on,
Did she
it's good.
was it somebody that didn't make it out with her? Was it? I mean, I don't know. I'm just
Right,
spit.
right, right.
You got to look for it. I tell little Nissan all the time as we're getting up, going to the gym at 5 in the morning now
Mm.
with my man Shay Cotton. Like, yo, do it. Everybody's not doing this. You do it. You said you wanted. Let's just be consistent. Let's enjoy the process. I enjoy the process of life, even the bad things in life that come. They come. It doesn't stop me from enjoying life. Death hurts, but it don't stop me from enjoying life. We have to learn how to move forward. Things happen and we're sad, but we learn and we go and we grow. Because if we're depressed and down, there are people depending on who you're supposed to be.
Right.
There are people depending on who God called you to be, who you're working toward being as a leader, as as a servant, whatever the case may be. I want to get to that mark so that I can make the impact.
Man. Pastor Nissan, pray for us real quick. Thank you, man. We went over, but it was good. I
Well,
needed it.
have me first of all.
No, thank you, man.
Let me offer a word of prayer. Father, I thank you for Pastor Jason, and I thank you for this platform that you have given him to step out on faith and in the strength that you've given him to just continue and move this forward. I pray for all of my friends who are listening and who are watching. I'm asking God that you would lead them and guide them. I'm asking for strength and increased faith, Father, so that you can get the glory out of their life. I'm asking that you would forgive us for every time we have sabotaged ourselves and our thoughts. I pray that you would bring us to a place of awareness to see those things and recognize those things that produce these thoughts that pull us backwards. But I pray then, God, that once we figure it out, that you give us the strength to move forward, to repair, to grow, to be renewed. Father, I pray that you give us the wherewithal to, as Paul said, press toward the mark, even in terms of our faith, in terms of who you called us to be, to help us to press toward the
Mm,
prize of that upward calling in our life, understanding the sacrifices it takes to get there, understanding the mindset it takes to get there. Father, I know we have challenges in our minds sometimes because of trauma and things of that nature.
mm,
But I'm asking, dear God, that you would help every individual, help every single individual get to the place where they can know, go, and grow. In Jesus' name, amen.
man. Thank you, Pastor. No, go and grow. That's good. That's good. Come on, Pastor Nissan Stewart. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, my brother.
You're welcome, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Listen, listen. I am so thankful for you watching episode 3. Share this with somebody. Overcoming self sabotage. Me against me. Real life, We'll talk.